So today we are going to be using a big old slab of ground venison, which does have our Wagyu fat in it. This is from my Kansas deer, so if you want to go see that, check out that hunt. I've got the Rotel, 2 cans. I like the Rotel because it's already diced. It's literally tomatoes. So I have a tomato over here. I don't feel like dicing it. This already comes with the diced tomato, comes with the chilies in it. I went ahead and diced up an onion because I love onions and Taylor loves onions, so we're going to do onions. And then I've got your simple seasoned salt, some garlic powder, some ranch seasoning, which I love, and some Everglades, which you can't go wrong with Everglades. A thing of black beans. Again, all this stuff I'm not going to drain because I want it to become as soupy as possible. It's not going to be real runny like you would think. With all this meat, all the juices are going to get soaked up in there anyway. So let's go ahead and throw it in the skillet. We'll get it browning, and it's a pretty simple, quick meal, especially when it's cold out, and it's cold, and Taylor said, let's do something like chili, and I said, let's do the Frito pie. So let's go. Alright, so we are just going to simply brown the meat. Super easy. Once we get it almost done, I'm going to throw the onions in there. I'm not going to throw them in there just yet. I don't want them to be like totally caramelized, so we're going to go ahead and I still want them to have a little bit of crunch. Plus, we're going to let it simmer, and when they do simmer, they will absorb some of that seasoning too. So we're going to go ahead and throw a pack of taco seasoning in here as well. So get it browned up, throw the seasoning in there, throw the onions. We'll be halfway there. Just going to use some taco seasoning. Doesn't matter what kind you get. Obviously, this is all up to you. They make them impossible to get into. But a simple, quick use of the teeth, Taylor. Taylor gets mad whenever I use my teeth for like cutting fishing line. So I always wait until probably halfway through at least. It's released a lot of that fat, a lot of the juice out of there. If you put this kind of stuff in there, it'll just cake all over the meat. So you want it to have a little bit of that that wetness, if you will. The juices. Again, I don't want them overcooked. I want a little bit of crunch to them. Same thing. Mix that bad boy in there. Okay, so just a tip while you're making this. Don't open the bag of Fritos before you're ready to eat it, because I'm probably going to eat half the bag. I haven't had Fritos in forever. This is delicious. When we throw that on top, it's going to be even better. Okay, so another thing you're going to want to do when you're making this is get a big enough skillet. We always use cast iron. You can use whatever you want, but I keep spilling this all over myself. This is what I need to do. I need to set it down when I'm talking because I like to talk with my hands, and I spill it all over myself. So, big enough skillet. We've got the meat 99% brown. It's looking perfect. It's got no red in there. It's all beautifully brown. We've got it kind of where we want it. It's going to cook off a lot of that. So with the venison, a lot of people would say, like, if you're cooking this, you got to brown the meat, drain it because it puts off a lot of fat, and then go ahead and put the onions and all this stuff in. So with our Wagyu fat, it actually, we put, this is 70-30 we did, but that Wagyu fat has such an amazing flavor, and it actually, it doesn't put off as much, I guess you would say, because this is the only fat that actually melts at room temperature. So when you're doing this, you cook a lot of it off anyway, where normal fat will stay in there. We don't have too much in there. There's just a little bit of liquid at the bottom, which is a little bit of that fat and that moisture cooked out of the meat. We're gonna take the Rotel and dump it in. As you can see, I didn't drain it, and the reason I didn't drain it is I wanted it to be soupy. So I'm going to go ahead and mix all this stuff up. And this is a point where you can get crazy with. If you guys want to add, you can literally add whatever you want to this. There is no rhyme or reason. It is just the base is the ground venison. You're going to have some type of taco seasoning if you want it to have that taco-y kind of flair. Again, you can use chili with this. I just like doing this. I'll probably add some cayenne pepper here in a little bit, but I also like to just put some hot sauce on the top of this, or some sriracha. That's what's great about this stuff. Venison's just it's a simple base, and then you can go crazy with whatever you want. So I'm gonna let it simmer for probably an hour. I'm pretty happy with it right now. Get the Fritos and we'll bowl it up, I guess. We're not gonna plate it since it's going in a bowl. You could put it on a plate. Do whatever the hell you want, I don't care. All right, so it is going to be hot at first, obviously. But look at that. You can see that consistency. So, Fritos. I am excited about this, y'all. I don't even know how much to put in because I've never done it. Here goes nothing, Taylor. Beautiful. It's actually just right. What makes any good Mexican dish better? 4 cheese Mexican cheese. You gotta love it. I mean, why have just one cheese when you can have 4 types of cheese? I am going to coat that pretty heavily. So, obviously the best time to put the cheese on is when it is piping hot like this. There you have it. That is going to be delicious. So, I'm just going to show y'all. Look at that. Perfect. A little bit of cheese on there. It's going to be hot. Burn my mouth just for you guys. Oh yeah. That's on point. That crunch of that Frito. It's going to get soggy a little bit towards the end, guys, so you want to eat it kind of quick. But just the saltiness, too, along with that meat and the cheese. Money.